Alrighty, so we're live. If you see me glancing down at my phone right here, it's because I'm making sure that the feed is, hold on, making sure that the live feed is healthy. And hold on. All right, yeah. So if you see me glance down on my phone right here, I'm making sure that the live feed is healthy because it's having this mic on and the computer trying to stream at the same time kind of takes a lot of the computer's power to do. So let me double check, make sure the live feed is up. Ooh, pause. Okay, so here we go. Starting on the musical journey. It started a long, long time ago. The first musical memory I remember is being in my granddad's church. And he had this piano. And what I would do is I would sit at the piano. I didn't know squat how to play music, mind you. So I'm just here. I remember I would just like bang on the white keys, just like doo, 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 doo. I didn't know what I was doing. And he would just let me do it after church. He also had a drum set, and I would just play around on the drums a little bit, get a little intuitive feel for it. As I was growing up, when I hit elementary school, I remember second grade. I was in a drum class for like a year or maybe one season. I don't recall the length, but I was in drum class, and I learned a little bit about rhythm, snare drum. I know what a flam is. That's pretty cool. And what was it? And I stopped taking classes. I don't recall why. Maybe because I didn't beg my mom to go back. Who knows? Then later on, my auntie, she got me a keyboard, a little digital keyboard, something small. I think it was a Casio or something. And I would just do the same thing I did at my granddad's church. Just play all the white keys and just play on it and, just make noises with it. For some years, I didn't really touch it up until about middle school and high school. When I got into middle school and high school, that's when rapping became really cool. Everyone wanted to be a rapper, and no one knew how to record. And I remember we went to this place called Camp Kern for like a SAT, ACT prep with my school, and there we would record off of like a gaming mic. My homie, here's what it was: I had a laptop, my homie had a gaming mic, and we downloaded this free software called Audacity. And from there, we just recorded ourselves freestyling, just clowning over like some mainstream type beats. Because but prior to that, we would just be freestyling, no mics or anything, just practicing, having fun. But that day, we decided to record, and it came out pretty well. There was some funny lines and ridiculousness, great memories. And after that, we decided, man, let's go to our homie's house and record. So those would be like Shamari, me, Nate, Devontae, a lot of other local artists and stuff that are currently popping. Shouts out to y'all. And we would get together and just record tracks here and there. It was pretty cool. From there, while we were recording off of like a $5 gaming mic and everything, and putting it up on MySpace and whatnot, I thought to myself, if we're really gonna take this seriously, we need to eventually have our own instrumentals, because we can't sell if we're just, going over everyone else's instrumentals, like the mainstream ones. So I decided, what did I decide? I decided I'm gonna learn how to make instrumentals. So at 16, I'm gonna keep it real. I pirated the first copy of Reason I have. I bought it now, so don't sue me. But I pirated Reason 4, and I started learning how to make instrumentals. At the time, you couldn't record vocals in it. All you could do was make instrumentals. It's crazy back then. And I would just, at first I didn't know any music theory, so I kind of just try to put a bunch of random blocks together. But over time, I slowly studied the music theory and a little bit of the audio engineering, and the quality started ramping up a bit. What was it, by say junior, senior year, 17, 18 years old? A lot of my friends still kept with me, but also a lot kind of fell off. And then I started, started to college. I took a couple music courses there, never really finished. But by then, I knew a lot of music theory. Like, I had my own theory called the music color wheel, where, how the color wheel has 12 colors? Well, music has 12 notes, so I superimposed the color wheel onto the notes, and it helped me visualize music theory, so I picked it up like a sponge. After that, I met Radical Nation. And in 2012, it was me, Brian, Dre, and Quan. And that was the most productive year, not counting the last few years, that I had. we were a group. We were Radical Nation. We don't give a fuck, because we really didn't. And like each of us dropped an album or mixtape that year. Like I dropped a like album and an instrumental album, and they dropped one hip hop album. You can still find it on Bandcamp to this day. And what was it? Over the years, we just outputted music together, working on a blog together called The Gaff. I created Audio Sex on WordPress. Started getting the social media up. It started to ramp up a bit, but unfortunately, by 2014, like the group kind of slowed down a bit. Although we dropped a group album that year, what was it? Like the group dynamics were starting to fall a little bit. One of the members was kind of not really putting in their work, and then we just and I moved to Buffalo, New York to be with my girl, and it slowed down a bit in 2014. Then in 2015, 2016, things ramped up. I started doing more film music. With the film music, there was this competition called Flicks for Chicks, and one of my friends that I met through WordPress got me hip to one of their other friends who did films, and I made a couple tracks for their instrumental thing. A couple instrumentals for their film thing. And what else was there? And in the competition, they won, because I think it was the top 30 films went on to be showed at Brattle Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So that was pretty cool. From 2016 to 2017, I've just been wrecking content. Like I've just been creating content at a feverish pace. I put out YouTube videos nearly every day. I make instrumentals as much as possible. I've been going around getting the video production up, and right now I'm working on an album, and I'm pretty much just trying to social media, trying to get some money, trying to get paid for the talents, and figure out how I can use all my multimedia skills and help people in the community. And I think that's the very condensed, very short journey of the last, was it 7, almost 8 years? I started in 2009, so 2017, that's 8 years. So yeah, that's the journey. Peace.